Hello, welcome. I'm Richard, and this is...
Richard.
Oh, don't confuse them now, they're confused enough as it is. This is Paul, I'm Richard, Richard and Paul, and this is...
Sunday Chat!
It's a good job we've said the day, isn't it? Because this time of year, everybody falls into a stupor. Forgets the day, forgets the time, can't judge whether or not it's a good idea to eat a whole box of orange Lindor before breakfast, or whether you'll save it for before lunch.
Have you got any left?
I think there might be one.
I was going to have one of those dark Lindors yesterday, wasn't I?
Why didn't you, Paul? Because you couldn't find them, that's why.
No, I thought I was fat enough as it was and I didn't really need it.
They're in the cupboard.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like them though, because they're
You don't like them? Well, that's good.
Aren't they sort of like Belgian truffly in the middle?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like things like that.
Oh, Belgian truffly in the middle. All soft and gooey and melting.
Yeah, I don't like that. No.
Good job.
So you'll have to eat those as well. Or I can take them to the food bank. That's what I'll do.
Whilst I do like to give to charity and think of people who are less fortunate than myself, they're not having my chocolate.
I think, in fact, they are my chocolates, because Mum gave those to me.
Well, let's just say they were your chocolates.
Right.
Not anymore.
Right.
Anyway, let's move on. So, welcome to that limbo point between Christmas and New Year where nobody knows what the hell is going on. But we've put Sunday Chat...
Sunday Chat!
Conveniently, just there.
In the middle.
To mark it for you. It's a public service we provide. We've told you this before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So believe it when we say it.
You're back to work, aren't you?
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. But only for 2 days. Because I'm not working New Year's Day, obviously.
I'm filing my accounts tomorrow.
Are you?
Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting?
Lovely. How nice.
I might get down the allotment as well.
If you want to talk about filing accounts now, I'll fall asleep at this portion of the video to allow you to waffle on.
But that's the exciting life that we lead, isn't it? Full of excitement, like filing accounts.
Yes, every day is new and fresh.
Oh, and doing my VAT return as well.
Oh.
Yeah. The excitement. It never stops.
Why is it called VAT? Value added tax. Why is it called that? What value does it add to our lives?
Well, it's a general tax, isn't it? So it adds value to our lives by giving us better things, supposedly. But of course it doesn't.
Really?
Actually.
Is that why it's called value added tax?
I don't know, but I would have thought something like that.
It's just ridiculous.
It's a bit like national insurance. When people say, actually, you need to get a health insurance or you may need to get a health insurance for the NHS in the future. We have.
Already.
It's called national insurance. That's what we pay for. The fact that over the years the government has whittled that away and it's not actually there to do the job it was started to do. Anyway.
What fun.
Anywho.
What fun.
So, yeah. Filing accounts, doing my VAT return and maligning health insurance. There we are.
Jiggling about in rather a happy way, Paul.
I feel quite jolly today again.
Do you?
Yeah.
We can soon change that.
Yes, that's true.
It's been dark in the morning.
You almost changed that earlier.
Did I?
Yes, I said something.
You mean I wasn't successful?
You
Well, I'll have to try harder.
I can't remember what it was I said. I said, oh, I'm going to do this. And Richard just went, okay. And I went, is that okay? He went, yes, that's okay. But the first okay was actually slightly dismissally non-committal.
Dismissally?
Yes, you sort of dismissed it.
Dismissally?
Yes,
That's
it's a
not
new
a
word. It is. Dismissally is a word.
Dismissively.
Dismissively.
Yes.
Dismissively. Mistletoeily. But it was, yeah.
Really, and you think that was my attempt to bring down your good mood?
No, I just thought that was your natural nature.
Oh, I think I can do better than that.
Oh, you can, yeah.
Yes, I
Be a
can.
miserable bugger sometimes. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's called yin and yang, Paul.
Yeah.
You can't have good without the bad. Yin,
Yin
and
yang. Yin yang yang.
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 Yin.
Yin.
There's no G on the yin.
Yin. Yang.
It's yin and yang, isn't it? Is it yin and yang? Ching and chang, ping and pong?
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Anyway, we hope you've all enjoyed a lovely Christmas and a very happy in-between time now. And we do want to take this opportunity to say thank you, bloody thank you, for all the lovely cards that you've sent us for Christmas. They're now in the recycler. Thank you.
That
And
was
all,
me reading them.
all the lovely gifts and the greetings, and also thank you to everybody who joined us on Christmas Day for our Christmas Day Live.
Christmas Day chat! Though I didn't say that.
Thank you.
Oh, and hello to Caroline, who we missed, didn't we? It's really difficult when you're doing the live. The text is really small. At the
We didn't say hi to everybody. We never do. We never manage to get everybody in. And I did say a couple of times, I do apologise if I've missed anybody out. So, our apologies to you, my darling. We hope you're fine. Okay, so also we wanted to say as well, this week's podcast, which is normally broadcast on a Friday, was broadcast on Christmas Eve. So if you missed that, go back and have a look if you're still in the festive mood.
What did we talk about? Christmas past.
Christmas memories.
Christmas memories.
Christmassy memories, and good and bad. Because it's not all about being jolly and cheerful, Paul. Really.
We've been watching Carry On films as well, haven't we?
Have. Jolly good fun.
Which are sort of Christmas memories, aren't they? I do like a good Carry On film.
We do, and we don't really understand when people don't.
No.
Because we've got a friend who hates them.
Yeah, absolutely hates them.
And we can never really understand why, because this particular friend enjoys that kind of humour.
Yeah.
And but doesn't like Carry On films. Doesn't quite compute for me. But anyway, if you're not sure what a Carry On film is, Google it.
You must know what a Carry On film is.
Google
but they are
it.
They are so non-PC now.
Oh yeah, terribly non-PC. I mean, you do wince occasionally, like,
yeah.
Ooh. But actually, when it comes down to it, they were of their time.
Yeah, and I think then they were also sort of taking the piss out of that as well.
Well, they knew what they were doing
Absolutely.
at the time.
Yeah,
and it was quite overboard. But people were a lot less thoughtful and mindful around people's feelings in those days, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
They weren't mindful that if you slapped your secretary on the bottom, she might object.
No, well, she would love it, of course.
She would love it
because she'd like the attention.
Yes, of course.
And it would make her feel sexy
and good
and wanted
and want to do better for the boss.
Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. Of course, nowadays we're much more woke about it all. Yes, so yeah,
it's a violation of the personal space, and it's a sexual. It's sexual harassment.
Absolutely.
But talking about violation of personal space, that's one of the reasons why I don't like New Year's Eve.
Where did that come from?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, on New Year's Eve,
Don't
people...
pick your nose.
I wasn't picking my nose. I was merely scratching the outer part of the nose. The finger did not go in at any point. Like there, just that bit there. Don't be disgusting, Paul. No, on New Year's Eve, people find it acceptable, pure strangers, to force themselves into your personal space and kiss you.
But worse than that...
Sometimes on the lips.
Worse than that, work Christmas parties.
Well, they're being... I'm finding, actually, over the years, I think they're kind of being phased out quite a bit, aren't they? It's not happening as much as you remember it happening.
Yeah.
We don't have a works Christmas do.
I don't have a works Christmas do either.
Because you'd be on your own.
Yeah, and nobody else came. Yes. I invited myself and even I didn't turn up.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But no, that's the other time that people think it's acceptable. I don't find it acceptable unless somebody gives you a hug. In
fact, with you, if somebody wants to give you a hug, they need to write a note 6 months in advance, giving you advance notice, don't they?
Paul, don't be ridiculous. It's only 2 months. I don't mind. I'm not a huggy person, really.
Well, you've been scratching my
that's
feet.
You, my darling. That's because I love you, my darling. Sometimes. Yeah. No, I'm not a huggy person. I don't like my space being invaded.
No, I don't think I do.
No, and unless I've invited you in, so to speak.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on, Paul. Oh, I read that wrong.
What? Move on, Paul?
No.
What?
Nothing. I read it as Boob Raider.
Oh yes, we watched Boob Raider last night.
Boob Raider. It sounds like some awful 70s porn film.
But actually...
Tomb Raider. I put reboot and the boot came... The boot, look, came just before the B there on the other line. And it looked like Boob Raider.
It was fascinating.
Well, I thought it was rather fun.
But her breasts have shrunk.
Now, that's right. Tomb Raider. We watched the reboot of Tomb Raider. Because it was there, it was on Netflix, and yes, the tittage has been reduced somewhat, talking about, you know, sexualisation of women.
And has that happened in the games? Because it's all based on a video game.
I think it has. I've not played the recent games. I have played Lara Croft many years ago. I used to enjoy...
What, in drag?
No.
Oh.
Although I could if I wanted to, because I do have the bone structure.
And you've got the boobies
the tittage,
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
We quite enjoyed it, although I found it a little, I don't know, her character, it's a little...
I didn't really care for her.
No.
I think that's the problem with a lot of things these days.
You don't
actually care about the characters.
You're not invested in them.
No.
No.
When there's a really good scene. I thought the best scene was when there's a shipwreck.
The shipwreck.
And I thought that was fabulous cinematography and CGI and all of that. I thought that was really great. But the captain, you think he's dead.
Yes.
And you just
don't tell them.
You just think, oh, he's dead.
Paul.
And you sort of think, oh, well, at least he got her there. Because that was the whole point.
It was a good sequence, and there were a few good sequences. So it is worth a little gander.
What was the other one?
Can't quite remember at the moment.
Yeah, there was one.
And, but yeah, the character, her character...
Oh, the bike chase.
The bike chase.
Quite like the bike chase. It was sort of like Fox and Hounds, but with bikes and cycle couriers.
So go and watch it.
I thought that was quite interesting.
Angelina was a little bit more fantastical when she did Lara. This girl's a bit more normal.
A bit more girl next door. Which actually, I don't really want.
No, I want spectacular Lara.
Yeah. And of course something happens, which you know it's going to happen. In fact, several things happen that you know is going to happen. But one of the things that you know is going to happen, you really know is going to happen. So when it does happen, and you've known it's going to happen, you sort of know it's going to happen.
You're going to say that again?
No,
because people might not have got it.
I think I said it enough.
Anyway, that's enough of that. That's a movie that we watched over Christmas. Another programme we watched and thoroughly enjoyed was the reboot of Wersal Gummidge. Yes, with Mackenzie Crook. Is it Mackenzie Crook?
Yes.
Yes. We enjoyed it. We did enjoy it. We did think, oh no, another BBC remake. Oh God, what's this going to be like? Because the BBC seemed to be remaking absolutely everything. There was one period in the 80s where it was all repeats. Now it's all bloody remakes.
Yeah, reboots, as they call them.
Really?
Now. Yeah.
They think they can do better than before.
But actually,
well,
they did.
In this case, yeah, but at the end of the day, the writer was Mackenzie Crook, wasn't it?
Yes, he wrote it.
And he produced it, I'm assuming.
Yeah. He wrote it, he starred in it, and he directed it.
Did he?
And
I thought it was well directed, actually, and, you know, the mood of it was quite detectorists in a way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Lots of greenery, fields and
open
gorgeousness.
spaces.
But again, slightly edgy.
Yeah.
In terms of the scarecrows, they were a little bit scary.
Well,
Don't tell people the bloody story, Paul. God. So if you haven't watched that, that's recommended. Lovely children's programme, but not too children-y.
Yeah, not too children-y. No.
And the children in it were quite good.
Yes, and the boy in it was his screen premiere, I read.
Was it?
Yes.
Well, he did very well.
I thought he did very well. It's just charming, actually.
Charming.
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 Oh, and the scene in the first
Don't tell
episode
them.
where everything sort of gets nice was just lovely. It was very touching, wasn't it?
There was a lovely sequence in the first episode.
Is that
lovely
your word
sequence.
of the week?
Well, it is a sequence.
Sequence.
That's what it is.
Not sequins.
Not sequined. Not sequined.
Sequence.
Sequenced. A sequenced dress.
Sequenced dress.
RuPaul Drag Race fans will know what we mean by that. You will. Okay. Kelly. From Kelly's Kitchen Garden. Yes, Kelly Bramall. From Kelly's Kitchen Garden is sending me some crochet needles. Hooks. Crochet hooks. Thank you, Kelly. I'm looking forward to receiving them. And when I do, Vivi and I are going to have a crochet off. Yes, that's one to watch, isn't it?
A crotch off.
We're going to be the crotchety crocheters.
Yeah. Kelly, I'd like to just thank you now for the hours of enjoyment that I will have sitting here watching Richard crocheting over there, and the expletives that will come out of his mouth as that stitch slips, or he counts everything completely wrong and ends up with 426 stitches rather than 32. So that I look forward to that.
Good. I hope you look forward to the various missiles that are coming your way. You wanted to talk about the allotment.
That's carry on, isn't it?
The allotment.
Dr. Plotment. Yes. Getting on and doing things.
Make it interesting, Paul.
Getting on and doing things. There's going to be an update in fact, on the new plot. I would have thought sort of around New Year.
Did you sugar this?
Yeah.
You didn't put much in.
I thought you wanted to cut down.
No, it's a black coffee. I like a little sugar in black coffee. Sorry, carry on.
So there is going to be an update. I've already filmed some of me doing some. Anyway, you'll see it in the next few days. Yeah. So that's happening, and I also planted Ailsa Craig onions. Sowed Ailsa Craig onions. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. So I've never grown onions from seed before. Trying to think whether Dad did, but I don't think he did. But if you do want to read about that, go to richardandpaul.com/blog, because there is a blog post on there about that. In fact, there's several new blog posts there, so if you go to the blog, you'll be able to comment on the blog there, if you wish to.
If you wish to.
If you wish to.
Good, lovely. You also said that not many people seem to have had new sofas this Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Talking about allotments and getting things ready, it's the time of year where I feel an awful lot of joy as I walk down the streets normally. Because as I pass houses and I see Christmas lights on and families enjoying themselves, I also see lots of cardboard outside their house and think, they've had a new sofa and I can benefit from that huge amount of cardboard because I can put it on the allotment. But actually this year there have been one household has had cardboard outside it.
But it's not as though everybody has a new sofa every single bloody year.
I tell you what, the last few years around where we live, there seems to have been an absolute glut of huge amounts of cardboard. I mean big cardboard from big things, not sort of small boxes, outside people's houses. And we've seen vans delivering a new sofa or, you know, so either things are being delivered without cardboard now, which of course is quite likely,
yes,
or people are actually buying less. Maybe they've got all the sofas they need. I mean, we got these two a few years ago, didn't we? They came
not
in
at
cardboard.
Christmas, though.
Not at Christmas,
yes, but
no.
these were delivered and these were build yourself.
Yes, I know. Many things are build yourself, and whether they bought a sofa to build themselves or it's coming in the door already built.
But rather than be wrapped in cardboard than plastic, Paul.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd much rather it was wrapped in cardboard.
They're probably wrapped in plastic now.
No, yeah, possibly.
They probably are. I think you'll find. Anyway, Paul, tell me, my darling, are you doing any New Year's resolutions?
No.
No, neither am I.
We don't sort of do New Year's resolutions.
No, not until, well, we set goals.
Yeah.
And we usually set them at the end of January.
Yeah.
But actually, you know what? Generally, I really feel like we've done a good job of opting out of the Christmas thing this year, don't you? Because we've been very good with food and drink.
Yes. We haven't had our champagne yet.
We didn't have champagne on Christmas Day, couldn't be bothered.
We had a glass of red.
Yeah, with our meal.
Yeah.
But just a small glass.
Ooh, we had lovely bubble and squeak the next day.
Oh, we did. It was lovely.
With a fried egg.
And some leftover nut roast.
Leftover nut roast.
It was yum.
That was yummy.
Absolutely yum. Actually, I enjoyed that more than Christmas Day.
Yeah, I think we might have Christmas Day on Christmas Eve and have Boxing Day on Christmas Day next year.
Okay. So I think we've done a good job of avoiding that sort of Christmas
buy-in.
Fug.
But we've had a nice Christmas, haven't we?
Is fug the right word where you just feel so crap?
I think fug is better than the other word that you could use. Yeah.
What?
One that sort of rhymes with fug, but we're not.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use that, would you, to describe that state of being?
No.
That tired, lethargic, I've eaten too much and had too much to drink feeling, which we haven't got.
Haven't had that.
No, we haven't got. It's lovely. I've had a couple of good afternoon sleeps.
Yeah.
Haven't I?
You have.
On the sofa.
On the sofa.
It's been good.
I've watched the Christmas episode of Murder, She Wrote, which I'd never seen before.
Oh, you had seen it.
Until I realised I'd seen it 9 times before. It's a bit of a wedge-in of a Christmas episode. It's as if they were doing it sort of in August. And in fact, Jessica does say that the weather is incredibly good. It's bright and it's cold and crisp, unlike their usual Maine Christmas. That's because it was filmed in August. Yeah.
Or it's climate change.
Yeah, could be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and then they sing outside the window at the end. Yeah.
But if you were going to make a New Year's resolution, Paul, what would it be?
Well, I have decided I am going to do something. And it is every time I want, and I do this already, but I'm going to up the game a bit. Every time I see a book and I think, oh, I'd really like that book, I'm not going to buy the book. There's most probably, if it's something from Nigel Slater, I'll most probably buy it. And if it's one of my detective things that I read, I'll most probably buy it. But any other book, I'm going to put onto a list, and I'm going to go to the library and have a look at it when it's in the library. Or if Mum says, would you like something, I can say, oh, I'd like that book. So I'm going to cut down on the amount of books that I buy. Also because we use books, particularly cookery books, as inspiration. We very rarely go to a book for a recipe and follow the recipe exactly. So yeah, I'm going to cut down even a bit further as I can do the amount of consumption that I do.
Of books?
Well, books and things generally.
Well, you've changed it as you've gone along.
I know.
It's turned from books to general consumption.
Yeah, but that's life.
I'm not making any.
No?
No, thanks for asking.
Are you going to have a New Year's resolution?
No, I'm not.
Are you going to have a February resolution to not eat so many Lindor chocolates?
Yes. Veganuary. I do find that a bit of a mouthful.
I find
whoever came up with that expression, really, you could have thought of something better.
It's a bit of a wedge in again, yeah.
Veganuary.
It
doesn't work around the mouth. It wasn't thought out properly.
Well, I suppose it's better than Vegetaria.
Veganuary.
Because that could come out wrong, couldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did always think of vaginas whenever I saw that
yeah,
word, actually. I did. So, Vagina January, no.
No.
Anyway, let's move on. Veganuary, we're not doing it because we would only have to give up fish and eggs, wouldn't we?
Well, we have very little
not doing
fish.
That.
And
Not yet. I don't need January, Vagina January, to tell me when to give up my foods. Thank you very much. But to those of you who are doing it, good luck.
Yes, and let us know on Planet Vegetaria.
Remember, protein, vitamin B12, vitamin D.
Selenium.
You've got to think about the nutrients.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to think of. Do some research first.
Mm. You need to make sure you're getting your proteins and your vitamins.
We've just
and
said
minerals.
that, Paul.
Yes, but it needs reinforcing. You do need to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good mixed vegetable soup, but if you're going to try being vegan for a month or being vegetarian even, do make sure that you occasionally add a tin of beans. They're a great thickener. It can be whizzed up with vegetables, great thickener, and add protein, vitamins and minerals that you need.
It's hard to get a complete protein.
Yeah.
A complete protein has all 16 essential amino acids. That's a complete protein. One of the vegetable proteins that is complete is soya. That does contain all the essential amino acids. But you've got to get them from mixed sources.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But anyway, do the research. We are not professionals, although we have trained in nutrition. We've done 2 courses, we hold 2 certificates, and we are, in fact, qualified to give nutrition advice. Actually.
Are we?
Yeah. To give nutrition advice. We're not qualified as nutritionists.
Don't eat too many Lindor chocolates. That's good nutritional advice.
Anyway, let's move on.
Quinoa.
Quinoa is good.
Quinoa's good.
Quinoa has a lot of nutrients.
I mean, you always get...
Not everybody likes quinoa, Paul.
But
Not everybody cooks quinoa very well.
Well, no. Quinoa can be overcooked and become a sloppy porridge.
Like a jellyfish.
Or like fermented fish. I wonder how Iceland got on. It was Iceland, wasn't it? With their fermented fish Christmas Eve festivities.
Don't. So that's it, isn't it? Have we talked... Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention...
Pulses.
No. We've moved on now, Paul, from that.
I was moving back.
No, I'm moving on. I'm moving you on. Yes.
Chickpeas. I'm going to try and grow them again.
Well, I think you need to do them in a different way this time. I think they need to be in pots. Raised off the ground.
I think I might do some in like window boxes. We got some window boxes. I may do them in window boxes.
I would. Yeah. Anyway, before we go, SoundCloud, or SoundCloud for the ordinary people. No, it was a bit of coffee. It just gurgled a little bit in my throat. Yes, like a death rattle. Yeah. SoundCloud. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a number of tracks, music tracks, that you might have heard from videos over the years. You know, sometimes I splice in a little bit of homemade music. The emphasis on homemade, let's just get that clear. I'm not a professional musician or professional producer.
We're not professional at anything, really.
No, we're not at all. And, well, I'm a professional receptionist.
Oh, you are a professional receptionist?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I think you'll find.
Yes. You know when to put the phone down.
I'm also a semi-professional photographer.
Oh yes, you're a semi-professional photographer.
Thank you very much, Paul. Award-winning semi-professional photographer.
Oh yes, you are actually
yes.
an award-winning semi-professional photographer.
I am. Anyway,
are you a semi-professional nutritionist as well?
No, because you don't earn any money. That's what professional means.
Oh right.
Doesn't it?
Okay.
You're earning money from it. Anyway, so I am going to be adding a few tracks of music on SoundCloud. Yes, I know.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Because people have asked me, where can we get this piece of music? From videos, yes. So I'm going to be adding them to an album of tracks on SoundCloud.
What, an album? You're doing an album?
Well, a little sort of mini album, yes. I thought it would be quite nice, quite fun. They're just little amateur, little tinkly tunes that go with videos.
So not semi-professional then?
Oh, shut up now, Paul. Right, that's it. We've covered all the list. Everything's lovely. Have a wonderful, wonderful...
Oh, the weather! What a wonderful Christmas day it was in the UK, wasn't it? All over the UK, it seemed, it was absolutely lovely. In Guernsey it was, in Northern Ireland it was, in Scotland it seemed to be. All over, lovely, lovely blue skies, just glorious. And then it's got a bit grey again since.
We've said that already.
Have we?
Yes.
Oh, I was asleep at that point. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Trying to be funny.
No, I'm not. No, I must have been asleep at that point.
It's not working.
Yes.
I'm cutting that. Cutting all of that.
Cut!
So that's it. Have a very, very happy New Year's celebration, whatever you're doing. And again, if you're going out, stay safe.
Are we doing anything on New Year's Eve?
No.
Are we going to do a video or something?
No.
No.
I think the viewers have had plenty. Thank you very much.
When are we doing our next podcast?
Next podcast will be on Friday.
Oh my!
This coming Friday. Of course.
Back to Friday.
We know when the days are. You might not, but we do.
I don't think I know when they are.
So thank you, bloody.
I know tomorrow's Monday, but if you're watching this on a Tuesday, it won't be.
So thank you, bloody thank you, for watching and tuning in to today's show. And we'll see you next week at some point for another video. Lovely. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye!